Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. So, you went out and got yourself a new chisel. Perfect. Chisels are not ready to go right out of the packaging. A few high-end brand names, I'm thinking Veritas here, Lee Nielsen, Blue Spruce, they make their chisels almost perfect. When you get them, they're almost perfectly ready to go. You might have to do a slight honing or final lapping to them to get them to work. They're very expensive chisels. If you're in the sub $20 market, which is what this chisel is, then you're going to have to do some work to it, because when it comes out of the packaging, it's just not ready to go. So in this video, I'm going to actually do a little bit different. I'm going to do camera above the bench, and I'm going to show you my technique to get a brand new chisel ready to work. I'm going to get the back perfectly shined. This chisel's done, and I'm going to hone the bevel and get it to a perfectly fine working chisel. So let's watch the video and I'll show you how I do it. Okay, as I mentioned in the intro, we are about to flatten the 3/4 inch Nerix firmer chisel. I have the set of 4, 1 inch, 3/4, 1/2 inch, and 1/4 inch. We're doing the 3/4. I've already done the 1 inch and it went very well. I will mention the sharpening equipment as I use them. So I'm starting here on my Shapton Kuramako Professional Ceramic Stone. This is the orange color, which is 1000 grit. I'm pretty fond of the Shapton stones. I kind of like them. I'm about to grab a Sharpie here and show you. I'm going to try to show you because I don't think you can see it. The reflections are kind of tough with the camera. Both the 1 inch and this 3/4 inch had a small little circular dimple, little concave area in the middle of the chisel. It was pretty easy to remove on the 1 inch, and you're going to see here it's pretty easy to remove on the 3/4 inch as well. This 1000 grit stone took care of it quite nicely. Now, if it was a real problem, I could drop to the 120 grit white stone that I have off to the left. I'm not going to use that stone today, but off to the left, the fourth of the Shapton stones I have is a very coarse white. It's 120 grit. It's the white color. It's used for, flea market finds where you have to completely reestablish the edge, and you're going to do it with a stone instead of a grinder or something like that. All right, we're moving on to a 5000 grit stone. Again, Shapton. This is the wine color. These are color coded, these Shapton stones. This is the wine color. And the 1000 grit stone got us flat. So now we're just going to go through the grits here and get it polished up nicely. A few other sharpening things I have on the bench that you'll see in a minute that you won't see me use, so I'll talk about them now. There is a big 12, it looks like a 12 by 10 square ceramic stone there with sandpaper on it. I use that to flatten the back of the 120 grit stone. The rest of the stones are flattened with that diamond stone you see sitting on top of that ceramic plate. The 120 grit stone can't be flattened by the 300 grit diamond stone. It's just a lopsided in grit size, so you have to use sandpaper. All right, I am pretty much done with the 5000 grit now, and as you've noticed, I've sped it up here a little bit as well. I'll be speeding this up throughout the course as we go. We're going to be going at 4 times speed here until we get done. I am now on the Melon 8000 grit Shapton stone. This really does produce a nice fine polish, but I do strop as well. And I'll be honest, you probably don't have to strop from the 8000 stone. It looks pretty good, as you can see. All right, moving on to the bevel. I have the Veritas Mark II honing guide, and I'm going to use that for this. I have it set for 25 degrees, and we will be doing a primary and a secondary bevel, which this tool does do very nicely. I am not a I am not a complete total fan of this guide, to be perfectly honest with you. It is a bit finicky in places. It doesn't do chisels as well as I'd like. You really have to clamp down on them to keep them from wiggling. And it doesn't do anything narrow. You have to get a separate attachment, which costs more money, and this is already an expensive kit. So I'm going to start the bevel on 5,000 and see how it works. Okay, I am starting the bevel on the 5,000 grit stone, and we're going to see that I'm going to move on to the 1,000. I have to drop back. An issue I have with the Veritas guide is, well, it's very accurate. And when you set it to 25 degrees, it is very repeatable at what it is set at 25 degrees. The problem is Narex ground these things at what they think 25 degrees is, which is slightly off. So the first time you do a new chisel, you have to basically remove a little bit of steel to get yourself in line with what Veritas thinks 25 degrees is. And you're going to see here, I hope you can see this, because we're removing material at the tip, it's almost like I'm making a primary bevel to start. So I'm going to go about halfway up the whole bevel and then add a secondary bevel. And over time, of consecutive sharpenings, this will wear away and be one 25-degree bevel. So we're still going at 4 times speed here. We're on the 1,000 grit stone, and it does move up the bevel quite nicely. And I'm done with the 1,000 now, and I like to flatten my stones when I'm done with them, so then the next time I go to use them, they're flat. So you'll just see me do that here as I go through the grits, because we'll be done with the 1,000 here. And this is the 300 grit diamond stone I mentioned earlier. I use it for all of the other shafted stones flattening. Okay, we're now back to the 5,000 grit, and on the 5,000 grit we are going to just basically polish up what we did with the 1,000. You see I just turned that knob on the side. That set the secondary bevel. So now I'm establishing a secondary bevel with the 5,000 grit stone. And hopefully you can see it here. I'm going to try to show it to you after I do the 8,000. But here we're flattening the 5,000 stone, and he's ready for the next usage. And now the 8,000 grit. And again, you know, we're just doing the secondary bevel now, so it only needs about 40 passes. I think I gave it here. And I hope we slow down here and I can show you this edge in a second with the proper secondary bevel. Okay, I am going to go to the strop here for just 10 little quick swipes with the honing guide. Obviously, when you use a honing guide on a strop, you can only pull, you can't push. I think you'll figure out why if you try it. But it just gives it the final glistening polish that we're looking for. And as you can see, we have a nice edge. From here, I do take it out of the guide and strop the back again, just to clean up any burr that might still be hanging out. Okay, and I just put a hunk of scrap wood in the vise here, and as you can see, it goes right down a corner like nothing. You could pair very easily with it. Does a nice shaving there. And I'm going to put the board in the vise edgewise and do a little shaving of some end grain. And it does a nice job of this as well. Okay everybody, so there you just saw shooting from overhead. I went through all of the grits on my Waterstone and I got the back of this chisel to a very nice shine. I'm going to try to let you see it here. I'm going to take some still shots and put them in here as well so you can see. And then I did do the bevel, and the bevel also has a secondary bevel at the tip. So this is a very sharp chisel now, as you saw where I hacked up the wood there. You know, like I said at the beginning of this video, you know, if you want to get Veritas, if you want to get Lee Nielsen, I'm going to be honest. I went to the woodworking show yesterday up in Baltimore, and Blue Spruce was there. Those chisels are absolutely beautiful, but they're rather expensive, and they are ready to go right out of the package. They do all of this for you. Now, if you want to do that, you just got to spend the cash. So if you want to get something less expensive, this is the set of Narex firmer chisels. I have the set. I believe they're selling for 70 bucks now, so less than $20 a chisel. A pretty darn good deal, but you have to do some work, as you can see. So like I said, I'm going to take a few snapshots now, and I'll put them in here of the back and the tips. So you can see what I mean, where I have the bevel started and then the secondary and then what kind of looks like a tertiary right now because of the way my honing guy did it. Trust me, it's just a primary and a secondary. This is a very sharp chisel and it will do very good work for you. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.